Hi everyone, I am Mansa Natarajan and I would like to speak about the origin of life. Today we see a wide variety of organisms around us. In this video, I would like to explain how the most simplest organisms came onto the earth. Prior to the biological evolution, a lot of physical and chemical changes and reactions must have taken place on Earth. There were a lot of different kinds of atoms and energy was available because of lightning and UV radiation. So under these conditions, these atoms would have combined to form simple molecules like methane, water and hydrogen, ammonia and other such molecules. Now the main rule was stability, that is all these atoms, all these molecules which were stable would predominate the earth, while those molecules which were less stable would be formed, but they may just get faded away. Chemists have tried to imitate the conditions that might have been present on the prehistoric earth, wherein they put methane, ammonia, water, hydrogen and carbon dioxide, and they put electrical impulses to recreate the effect of lightnings. So by doing this, after about 2 to 3 weeks, they found a soup in which they found really complex organic molecules while they had put in very simple organic molecules. These complex organic molecules included amino acids, which are the building blocks of the proteins, and also purines and pyrimidines, which are the building blocks of genetic material like DNA and RNA. So something analogous must have happened on the prehistoric earth too, when these oceans and seas would have been filled with simple and complex organic molecules, and these simple organic molecules would combine to form more and more complex organic molecules, and stability was the main reason why they did so. Over a period of millions of years, such a primeval soup would have been formed, and there's always a possibility that a very special kind of molecule, let's call it a replicator molecule, would have also been formed. And this replicator molecule is not the most complex or the most longest molecule, but it's a molecule which has the ability to create a copy of its own self. It consists of, this is the primeval soup and this is the replicator molecule. It consists of the simple molecules. It's a complex chain of simple molecules found in the primeval soup, in which each simple molecule has an affinity for its own kind. This molecule attracts this molecule. So when this kind of a replicator molecule is present in this primeval soup, it attracts the simple molecules to itself, and that leads to the formation of a sequence that mimics the replicator molecule, and very soon there would be a replica like this one. Then these two strands would just split and there will be two replicator molecules, each working on to make replicas of themselves and fill up the primeval soup with these replicator molecules. Now considering the idea of copying, during before the invention of printing press, there used to be great scribes who used to copy the works of great artists, and when they did so, they would make few errors, no matter how careful or meticulous they were. And the first copy would have very few errors and that would go unnoticed. But when another person copies from this, he would make some more errors which will add to the already existent errors. And at last, after about 10 to 15 copies, the copy would no longer be very similar to the original one. This is the same thing that happens here too. That is, the variations of faults get added up. Initially this molecule gave rise to this molecule by replication, but there was some variation. Now when this molecule replicated, there was another variation. So this molecule is quite different from this molecule, and these variations get added up or accumulated, and the variations that are beneficial for the molecule will soon predominate. Something slightly different could have also happened, where the simple molecules in a replicator may not have the affinity towards their own kind, but can have an affinity for molecules of negative kind or for a complementary molecule. That is, the yellow has an affinity for the pink and the pink has an affinity for the yellow. Here then, the molecule formed by replication will not be the exact copy of the original molecule, but when this molecule replicates, the molecule formed will be an exact copy of the original replicator molecule. This is exactly how our DNA is, wherein the adenine has an affinity towards thymine and guanine has an affinity towards cytosine. So soon these replicator molecules would fill up the primeval soup, but the number of the molecules of each kind would mainly depend on three important factors. First of all, the lifespan. If a molecule has a longer lifespan, then there's always a larger probability that it would make more replicas of itself because it would have longer time to do so. So such molecules will outnumber the molecules which have a shorter lifespan. The second thing is rate of replication. Molecules which can replicate at a faster rate shall outnumber the molecules which can replicate at a lower rate. Third thing is accuracy. Though evolution is all about variations, it's also important that the molecule formed is quite similar to the replicator molecule, or else if the molecule is too different, then it may not be stable at all and may just fade away. So now this is an image of the primeval soup right now, and this one has a lot of these replicator molecules and a very few of the simple molecules. So now if the replicator molecules want to create replicas of themselves, they will have to fight against each other to get these simple molecules. So begins the struggle for survival and the survival of the fittest. So these molecules become rivals and they fight to get these simple molecules. They use different strategies to win in this. One strategy is to break down the rival molecules. By doing so, they get two advantages. First of all, that they can use the simple molecules of the rival to form their own replica, and secondly, they will be able to reduce the number of rivals. Another strategy that they use is to form a survival machine around themselves. This is to protect themselves from the attack of their rivals so that their rivals cannot break them down. Initially, this would be just some kind of a protein membrane or some simple structure, but later on, the ability to survive mainly depends on their ability to form more and more complex and more compact survival machines. And as time passed over the millions of years, these survival machines became more and more complex and convoluted, and these survival machines formed the bacteria, trees, and the dinosaurs and many other mammals that we see today. And these replicator molecules are present within us now. They make up our body, and we are the survival machines. And this process continues where the complication of survival machines increases and it becomes more and more compact. And the process of evolution shall continue forever. Thank you.